Hello, it's Mark from Cars and Campers, and today we're going to take a look at the Tamron 28-75. This is a 2.8 lens all the way through. It's a full frame lens, but we're going to look at it on an APS-C body. So we're going to look at it on the Sony ZV-E10. This would also apply if you have a 6100, a 6400, a 6500, all pretty much the same camera. So let's take a look at this lens. Now, indicated on the lens, that's 28, and this is 35. This is 50 millimeter. And this is 75, so this is as far as the lens will go. Now you can use clear image zoom, and you can zoom in 1.5 times. So when you do that, it takes you to 168.75 millimeters, and that is including the APS-C crop. Let's look at some other samples. Okay, so with this sample, this is zoomed in all the way, so it would be 112.5 millimeters. And now using the clear image zoom, this takes us to 168.5. So you got this 28-75 lens, and on an APS-C body camera, it gives you a lot more reach. And you can see here, it's very sharp. It's doing wonderful things on this camera. It's pretty cool. It's a great lens to use on this camera. You can see here, I was pretty close when I actually shot this. I was about 10 inches away from this when I was actually filming it. And it does a great job. So it can get you in really close. And the cool thing is, if you're thinking about getting, full frame lenses and you haven't quite bought a full frame camera yet, this might be a lens to consider. So here I am zooming in from wide angle, and then now I'm zooming in using the clear image zoom. So there we are, and we are now at that 168.5 millimeters, and it does a pretty good job. You can see it's basically kind of a medium zoom lens, but this lens gets you in pretty good. You can see here's another shot of another airplane, and it does zoom in pretty good. Using that clear image zoom now is really wonderful. It really is. One thing to be aware of, this lens does not have image stabilization, and the camera has active stabilization, but I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. So here's the lens in a wide angle position, and now we're zoomed in, and now we're going to zoom into clear image zoom. So that's clear image zoom there, and you get that idea. But the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at active steady shot. Now, active steady shot can stabilize your images, and it does work, but I found that it's too jumpy with the autofocus. And I'm going to show you what it looks like with clear image zoom. So this is a clear image zoom shot here. And then this next shot we're going to look at, this is with active stabilization turned on. Now, I found that the only way I can get it to work successfully without the focus jumping is to manually focus it. If you manually focus it, it looks really good. So up next, we're going to look at some more samples. Now, these samples here are at maximum zoom and using clear image zoom. So this is a 168.75 millimeter shot. Here's another 168.75 millimeter shot, just so you can see what it looks like at maximum zoom close up. It was about 10 inches away, 8 to 10 inches away when I shot that. And here's another clear image zoom. So we're at maximum zoom, and then now this push in is clear image zoom, which does a good job. Now in this next one, we're gonna look at with the hat here. This is maximum zoom, and then now this is clear image zoom. So this is going to take us to the 168.75. And then what we're going to do is the next shot, this is with active stabilization turned on, and this is manual focus, because if it wasn't manual focus, the focus would be kind of hunting around there. So I have to say, all in all, this is a pretty cool lens. It actually works really well. The downside of this lens, obviously, is it does not have built-in image stabilization. If it did, it would be a lot bigger and heavier, and it would cost a lot more. So yeah, I would say if you are using your camera on a gimbal or using it on a tripod, you have an APS-C bodied camera that I talked about earlier, I think this would be a great choice. Now, if you're using your camera primarily handheld, I would not recommend this lens because the lack of image stabilization and trying to use the active steady shot, well, you're going to have to manually focus the lens. And the whole idea with the Sony cameras is they have fantastic autofocus, so I would not recommend this lens. I would say if you're doing handheld work, I would recommend a lens that has built-in image stabilization. Now, if you're a Sony a6500 user, your camera does have built-in stabilization on the sensor of your camera. This lens would be a good choice. So guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.